It's not cheating. We aren't married yet, she said, so I let her plan the whole wedding and left her at the altar in front of everyone. I'm William. I'm 32, living in Colorado, and until recently, I thought I had it all figured out. A stable job, a good circle of friends, and most importantly, Grace. She's 29. We met 5 years ago through mutual friends during a ski trip. She was vibrant, funny, and had this way of making everyone feel like the most important person in the room. We dated for 4 years before I proposed. Nothing extravagant, just a quiet dinner, a bottle of wine, and a ring that had taken me 6 months to save for. She cried, said yes, hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. For a while, everything felt perfect. Or maybe, I wanted it to feel perfect. The first real crack came 3 months after the proposal. Grace started acting distant. Nothing huge at first. More phone time, a few late nights with the girls, less interest in the little routines we loved, like Sunday morning pancakes or evening walks with our dog, Max. I brushed it off. Wedding planning stress, right? That's what she said. And to be fair, she was the one handling most of it. Venues, flowers, the guest list. She wanted her dream wedding, and I was happy to let her take the lead. I just assumed we were working toward the same future. One Saturday, she said she was heading to Denver to visit her sister. Normally, I wouldn't think twice about it. But something felt off. Not some dramatic gut feeling, but subtle things. Her tone, the way she avoided eye contact when she left, how she didn't kiss me goodbye like usual. Out of curiosity, or maybe suspicion, I checked her location on Snap Maps. Something we both always had on for years, mostly to check traffic or safety. She wasn't in Denver. She was 2 towns over, at her ex's place. Chris. I stared at the map for a good 5 minutes, hoping it was some mistake. Maybe she was visiting a friend nearby. Maybe there was some other explanation. But the longer I waited, the more it ate at me. Finally, I texted her. Hey, how's your sister? No reply for 2 hours. Then finally, good. We're just hanging out. What? I didn't respond. I didn't want to say anything until I was sure. I drove over, parked down the street, and there it was, her car, right outside Chris's townhouse. I sat there for nearly an hour, debating if I should knock or just leave. In the end, I left. Not because I was scared, but because I wanted her to tell me the truth, to give her a chance to come clean. When she came home the next day, everything was back to normal. Or at least, she acted like it was. She kissed me, asked if I wanted tacos for dinner, and chatted about some wedding decor she found online. I waited until we were sitting on the couch. Did you have fun at your sister's? I asked casually. She nodded. Yeah, we just hung out, watched movies. I leaned forward. You were at Chris's. Her face changed. Not shock, not guilt, more like frustration that she got caught. And then she said it. Words I still hear in my head. William, it's not cheating. We're not married yet. I stared at her. Are you serious? She crossed her arms. It was one mistake. We've been stressed. The wedding work. It didn't mean anything. I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just stood up and walked out of the room. Because in that moment, I realized something. If she could justify this now, what else would she justify later? But instead of confronting her further, I decided to play along. Let her think everything was fine. Let her plan her perfect wedding. Because when the day came, oh, she was going to remember it forever. After that conversation, if you can even call it that, something inside me just shifted. I wasn't even angry in the way people expect. No yelling, no smashing things, no dramatic ultimatums. I was calm, cold, even. If Grace truly believed that sleeping with her ex was somehow justified because we weren't married yet, then fine. Let's play by her rules. We aren't married yet. And that's when the idea started forming. I didn't end things that night. Instead, I became the world's most supportive fiancé. Whatever she wanted for the wedding, I agreed. I hyped her up about it. Let her choose the venue, the overpriced florist, the live band instead of a DJ. I smiled through every cake tasting, every suit fitting, every conversation about seating charts. She had no idea. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I was quietly making arrangements of my own. First, I contacted our apartment's leasing office. The lease was in my name only. I asked when it was due for renewal. Good news, it was expiring the month after the wedding. Even better news, I could end it early with a simple notice. I filed that notice quietly. Next, the joint savings account. We had set it up for wedding expenses, and luckily, my paycheck went into a separate personal account. Her contributions had been minimal anyway, so I scheduled a transfer. Every penny I had personally contributed back into my private account. Left her half untouched. Fair. Clean. Then I called my employer. I had a job opportunity in Seattle I'd been toying with months ago, but declined because of the wedding. Guess what? Still available. I asked if they'd still consider me. They were thrilled to have me reconsider. Offer letter in hand within a week. I even sold my car. Why keep it when I wouldn't need it where I was going? Used the cash to cover moving expenses and a deposit on a new place, all while smiling at Grace across the dinner table as she rambled about floral arrangements. She had no clue, but the cherry on top? I let her fully plan the ceremony. Every detail. Her dream wedding. Her dress, custom-made. Her family flying in from out of state. Her college friends booking hotels. I watched her get fitted for the dress. I watched her post photos of the invitations on Instagram with captions like, "Can't wait to marry my best friend." It was like watching someone dig their own grave, one Instagram post at a time. And every now and then, late at night when she thought I was asleep, I'd hear her texting. I knew who it was. I didn't even need to check. I didn't care anymore. The difference was, this time, I wasn't the fool. The wedding day finally came. A perfect spring afternoon in May. Sunny, blue skies, everyone smiling. I stood there in my suit, pretending like I wasn't about to drop the biggest plot twist of my life. I watched Grace walk down the aisle. She looked beautiful, honestly. I won't lie. For a brief moment, I wondered if I was crazy for going through with this. Then I reminded myself, she made her choice long before I made mine. The officiant smiled. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today." I nodded along, smiled, made eye contact with her. And when it came time, the moment everyone was waiting for, "Do you, William, take Grace to be your lawfully wedded wife?" I took a breath, held it, and then I said. The officiant repeated the question, smiling. Everyone in the audience was leaning forward, waiting for my answer. "Do you, William, take Grace?" I looked at Grace. She was beaming, completely unaware, completely confident that this was the happiest day of her life, that I was about to commit to her forever. I let the silence stretch for a second longer. Then, calmly, clearly, I said, "No, I don't." There was a beat of stunned silence. For a moment, no one moved. The officiant blinked, unsure whether he heard me right. Grace's smile froze on her face like it was stuck. Whispers started spreading like wildfire through the crowd. Grace finally spoke. "What? William, what are you doing?" Her voice cracked. Her face paled like the blood drained out of it. I turned to the crowd, to her parents, my friends, her friends, and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "I'm not marrying someone who thinks it's okay to sleep with their ex while engaged." Grace told me, and I quote, "It's not cheating if we aren't married yet." Gasps. Murmurs. Someone in the back let out a "no way." Grace's eyes widened. "William, stop. We can talk about this later. Not here. Not now." I shook my head. "No. We're doing this now. Right here. You didn't seem to care about us when you were sneaking off to Chris's place. You didn't care then, so don't act like you care now." Her mom stood up, hands over her mouth. Her dad looked like he wanted to melt into the floor. Grace started crying. "Please, William, don't do this. We can fix this." I made a mistake. I cut her off. "No, Grace. You made a choice. A mistake is forgetting to buy milk. You made a choice, multiple times." I pulled a small envelope out of my jacket. "Here's proof. Messages. Screenshots. Dates. Times." I tossed it on the table near the altar. In case anyone's wondering whether I'm making this up. The whispers turned into full-blown murmurs. I looked back at her one last time. "You planned this wedding down to the last flower. Hope it was everything you dreamed of. Because the marriage? That's not happening." I turned, walked straight down the aisle, past the stunned faces, past the awkward, uncomfortable stares. Did anyone try to stop me? Nope, not one person. Once I got to the end of the aisle, I paused, pulled out my phone, and canceled the check for the catering. Because guess whose name it was under? Mine. By the time I got in my car, my phone was blowing up, texts from her, calls from her mom, even some of her friends begging me to come back and don't do this. I didn't answer a single one. Instead, I drove straight to the airport. My flight to Seattle was already booked, had been for a week. By the time the reception was supposed to start, I was 30,000 feet in the air. It's been 6 months now. I've settled into my new place. New job. New life. Max, my dog, is thriving. My friends back home told me Grace's life imploded after the wedding disaster. Some of her family won't even talk to her. Apparently, Chris ghosted her right after everything blew up. Shocker. I don't know what her life looks like now, and honestly, I don't care. She tried texting me once. Just one word. Why? I left it on read. So what do you think? Did I go too far? Or did she deserve it? Curious to hear what you'd have done in my shoes. It's funny how quickly people's true colors show when their perfect little image cracks. In the weeks after the wedding that wasn't, word spread fast. Friends, family, coworkers, everyone found out. Not because I blasted it all over social media, I didn't need to. The guests at that ceremony did all the talking for me. From what I heard later, Grace's family was furious. Not at me, but at her. Her parents had sunk thousands into helping her with the wedding. Flights, hotels, decorations, all wasted. Her dad apparently told her, "You humiliated this family. Don't bother coming home." As for Chris, the ex she claimed didn't mean anything. Yeah, he ghosted her right after the fallout. From what a mutual friend told me, he wasn't looking for a relationship. He was just enjoying the fact that Grace was willing to betray her fiancé for him. Once the wedding blew up, he blocked her on everything. Poetic. Grace tried the apology route. She texted, emailed, even tried calling me from different numbers. The messages started with "I'm sorry," then turned into "you ruined my life," and finally shifted into "can we at least talk?" Nah, I didn't block her. I wanted her to know those messages were seen and ignored. I also heard she had to move back into a friend's spare room. Our apartment, already cleared out. Utilities shut off the day after the wedding. I left her half of the wedding savings untouched because I wanted her to have no excuse to play the victim. Seattle's been good to me. New job pays better. Fresh start. I even started dating again. Nothing serious yet, but this time, I'm taking things slow. Trust isn't something I give out easily anymore. Lesson learned. Max loves the parks here. We go on hikes every weekend. And the best part? No more looking over my shoulder. No more wondering what's really going on behind the texts, the fake smiles, or the girls' nights that were anything but. So yeah, that's my story. Was it petty? Maybe. But you know what? She taught me that loyalty isn't just about rings or vows. It's about respect. And if someone can't give you that while you're engaged, they sure as hell won't after I do. Would I do it again? Without hesitation. What would you have done? Walked away quietly? Or let it all explode like I did? Be honest. I appreciate you watching till the end. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more content.